go back. I like to try and do as much as I can without even putting my hands on the mat. And then, so like here. Talking about an exciting topic today that I've had a bunch of people asking about, which is F your jiu-jitsu. I'm going to try not saying the F word for at least the first minute because that's the YouTube ad policy. I'm trying to make a little bit of money here, but my instructor, Rob Bernacki, came up with this idea of a drill that we use for many different contexts, many different like areas of development, but we're going to talk about for sweeping here, which is F your jiu-jitsu. Cal came up with the idea of calling it frames and levers for the kids so that we're not swearing around the children, obviously. So depending on what you prefer, call it whatever you like. The idea is that with this drill that we are setting some restrictions on the partners that are training so that we're able to maximize the development in certain areas. What we're looking at for this one is I am not trying to pass my opponent. I am looking to just sit in whatever kind of guards that he is forming and just fight them off. My goal is just not to get swept. And so I'm looking to develop my balance here, my ability to handle different guards, and see how far I can go with this stuff. And his job is to just sweep me. So he's working on sweeps, I'm working on my ability to defend sweeps. We're not looking at submissions, and while there is sweeps that will occur, the goal here is not to try and win, or at least look at it like that. So the reason why Rob calls it fuck your jiu-jitsu is because the mindset is that I'm going to walk into Kevin's guard and be like, fuck your jiu-jitsu, I don't care what you're going to do whatever you want to me, and I'm going to just defend it. So Kevin can connect his legs however he wants, and I'm just trying to keep myself on top here as he's working himself in. So here as he's trying, I know he needs to do a technical stand-up, so I'm just looking at controlling him here. And I can get quite ridiculous with this, especially for me being 6'5", where I'm just going to be trying to sit on top. And just seeing how much I can play from here and get myself into hot water and be able to adjust as my mic goes flying. And then as he does that, as he manages to take my back in that circumstance or complete a sweep, we reset. That's it. Because what we're looking at doing is increasing how much we can, increasing the time that we can spend being effective at developing those skills in a short time frame. The problem is that when we're rolling, we do something like this. And nothing really happens. And I mean, that's important. We need to work on that engagement phase and being able to win the grips we need to make whatever happen. But we're not going to be deep in those guards. We're not going to be deep defending sweeps. And if we do, and we're not comfortable with it, we're going to end up getting swept. And then when's the next time I'm going to get back to that same position to get to defend that and work on those skills? Because once Kevin swept me, I'm going to have to deal with his passing, and I might not even get back to that position. And if I reverse him, I might just end up straight in the mount. And so we want to think about how much time can we spend in that exact position experiencing these different guards. I want Kevin to be able to use whatever weapons he wants, and I want to see how far I can take it and see how far I can go. We're scientists, essentially, in this little experiment where I want to see where I fail and then even possibly go back. So like to that specific spot that I failed. So here in like this circumstance where Kevin had managed to take me before, once he brings me over to this position, I want to get back to here. And then I'm going to try and play here again. So that then as Kevin's trying to adjust this time, maybe I can push his legs off. My goal is not to pass, but sometimes depending on the position we're in, how I have to extract my leg or access levers on my opponent is going to lead to me essentially ending up in a better position. That's just part of the game. And so if I'm, say, in X guard and Kevin manages to drop his foot behind my ankle and knock me to my butt, one, the sweep's not done yet. I'm looking to get back up from here, but if Kevin completes the sweep, nice. We go back, and maybe this time I'll be like, hey, let's get back to that X guard and go again. And now from here, I know he likes to drop, so now I'm trying to make sure I've got my center of gravity a little more controlled that direction, so So as he tries to adjust, maybe I can circle my leg out. I want to get back to those positions that I failed and see if I can start to correct what happened last time. And then he's going to be forced to add the next layer of his sweeps there too. So both guys end up getting so much better with this stuff. Try to avoid just death gripping your opponent. And so like if here I start getting into like Kevin's guard, grabbing onto like his gi and just pulling myself in and staying here like this, because I'm shutting down movement. The goal here is to experience jiu-jitsu, to be able to go through a whole bunch of different motions. So as much as possible, I want him to just be able to do what he wants for control. And if I start to end up into a position like this, where I'm like, man, he's about to sweep me, then I start to form defensive grips so that I can start to unwind. I'm not looking to abuse this and like control, like maybe I have to hold it here for a sec because I can't quite pull my leg up, but it's like, okay, at least now he can't quite finish that sweep. Maybe I can start to unwind that control. But it's once I get very deep. I don't want to shut him down. If at any point he's trying to move to another guard, move to another sweeping position, he should be able to do so relatively easily, because the main goal here is for me to just be able to eat this and just stay there. So that if he puts me in single leg X and he tries to sweep me right now, I'm just gonna chill here. Oh, here I had to post my hand, so it's like that's a bit of a win for him. I don't like that, so now I'm gonna go back. I like to try and do as much as I can without even putting my hands on the mat. And then, so like here, like I showed before, I cannot beat this technical stand-up sweep. This is one of the hardest sweeps to just like be a douche and stand here for. So I'm gonna have to get that control so that when he does a technical stand-up, I can keep putting him up. But I put him on his back and I stop with that control so I can go back to here. Maybe he wants my sleeves. You can have both sleeves if you want. I'm just trying to play around here and just see like how ridiculous this can get. I'm not worried about him triangling me, because that's not the purpose of this. So there's rules to this, and I'm not going to necessarily ever let somebody do this to me if this was a real grappling bout. But for the purposes here, I might even try leaning on him and just see what kind of sweeps he's going to try and balance myself. It's really important that you actually finish the sweep. While I'm all relaxed, laxy-daisy on top and just kind of letting him do what he wants, I'm not letting him knock me down. So if he knocks me down to my butt, or he makes me post my hands, like these are all little things to me where I'm like, I screwed up. I lost that. But if he knocks me down, I do not just fall over. This is something that a lot of people do, and they develop horrible sweeps that knock over. I just go, I just fell down. Okay, I'll pull guard. Because guard is the secret weapon of jiu-jitsu and whatnot, but we don't ever want to concede bottom position. I mean, even in jiu-jitsu competition, the person gets points for ending up on top. So when this, from a energy perspective, like usually we do this quite light, like 50% energy each, but it can certainly ramp up. Nothing wrong with that. But there should be more effort put into the stopping of the sweep. So you'll see me playing with like Kevin, and I'll be pretty light here and look like I'm not doing much, but as soon as we drop, I'm going to tie up his legs really quickly because I need to stop him from being able to generate base. And so as he's trying to get on top at this point, my goal is to end up back on top. And he goes back. We're not both ending up standing and getting into a wrestling match. We're just going here, and as he starts to knock me over, his goal is to try and control the inside space. And we might be here for a little bit as we're trying to control and put each other back down to not concede the sweep. So that's where you're going to see the class get much more into the fighting part, is because we're both on our butts and we're trying to stop the other person from getting to meaningful base to get on top, preventing that scramble from happening. And then it's really important for Kevin because he's going to be developing the ability to finish those sweeps. So like I talked about in one of the videos, tying up your opponent's legs, denying them base to finish it, because there's a lot of people that as we do this drill, or I'll do this approach when I'm rolling with new people or just visitors from other gyms, because I want to experiment and I want to see what this person has to offer. And they'll knock me down, and then I just get back up. And I realize that there's a hole in their game when it comes to sweeps because they're not used to people fighting back up, which is what good guys do. We do not just concede sweeps. So it's so much fun. It's changed my game in so many ways because I feel so confident in my ability to shut down sweeps deep into different guards and different control positions that someone establishes on me. And then the goal on that is that then when you're actually grappling somebody, is you don't let them get to those positions. So if someone can't effectively sweep me when I'm letting them do whatever the hell they want to me, then you rest assured that they are not going to sweep me when I'm shutting them down and I'm winning the grip schemes and I'm winning that engagement phase and I'm starting my own guard passing and my own submission threats. So get comfortable defending sweeps at a very late stage. That's where that fuck your jiu-jitsu approach comes. Fuck your jiu-jitsu. I'm going to walk into your guard. You're going to try and sweep me and you're not going to be able to do anything. And I'm just going to be able to walk all over you. So have that mindset. Try this drill. We do a 6-minute drill and we do 3 minutes each. So Kevin will try and sweep me for 3 minutes and he might not sweep me once. He might sweep me 20 times. It doesn't matter because you're just there to experiment and get used to it, to get comfortable with the uncomfortable positions, and then switch and you go back and forth and both parties get to develop skills with this. And so give it a shot. Let me know any questions that you guys have about this stuff and I hope you have a lot of fun with it.